Merry Christmas to everyone and welcome to a new episode of Carful. In this episode we will show you the part 4 of the Corvette series of the interior, the floor panels, the roof panels and the back of the interior. In part 5 of the episodes of the Corvette we will show the technical aspect, the motor, the powertrain and the suspension. So stay tuned. We removed the door panels and the complete interior. We also removed the trims and the handles from the door panels, and then we had to strip them completely to be able to get a new upholstery. We removed all the pins from the metal parts, removed also all the rust with iron brush, and then paint all those parts. The safety belts were a complete other case. They sat in the lowest compartment of the floor panels, and they must have been laying for a longer time in water because they were completely gone. There was no possible way and no safe way to save them, as you can see. June 21, 1976. That's the date the panels were made, and that's the date they left the factory. The backside was completely stripped also. The lower compartments in the floor panels where the seat belts sat were too far gone. We had to cut them out. Then we stripped the small compartments behind the seats. The insulation carpets came from the famous Barwick Mills factory, and they were also fabricated in 1976. Then my son started to clean the floor panels with a metal brush. These are the pieces he cut out of the floor panels. And here are the holes that were left. Then he painted the floor panels with a famous black paint, the pour, and that would protect them for the next 20 years. These are the replacement panels that were glued and riveted to the floor panels. My son did hammer and form them so they would fit like a glove. Then the ornaments on the door panels were next. We removed that black line in the chrome and tried to wrap it with a black wrap, but that didn't look too well, so we decided to use the same material as the upholstery inside. I thought it needed something more, so I painted some tribals on it. Then the shifter was next, and always the same procedure, removing the rust to the bare metal and then paint it to protect it from rusting again. In the meantime, my son was preparing the new heat and sound insulation for the floor panels, as you can see here. Then it was time for the handbrake. We made a lot of pictures of the disassembling because we wanted to make the assembling part a lot easier that way. Sometimes the work went on until late at night. Always the same procedure, getting to the bare metal, all the rust free, painting it, and then assemble it and place it back on the car like it was before, better than new. Then it was time to put the installation on its place. The upholstery work on the door panels was a disaster. I had to tear it loose again, do some cutting adjustments, glue it back on, and put it back on its place. In the meantime, all the trim parts and panels of the interior were disassembled and prepared for painting. And then they all got the necessary parts of red spray. Finally, it was time for the carpet to place on the floor and in the rest of the interior. It started to look really great. The old carpet pieces that we reserved stood as model for the new ones. We refurbished all the old parts of the safety belts to use them for the new 3-point belts. Then it was time for the small compartments to get some new carpet pieces and look better than new again. The center console got repaired, refurbished and painted also. We even had to do some reconstruction work on the parts of the A-pillar. The broken parts of the locks of the back compartments got strengthened with some steel plates so that they could be closed safely again. Then we assembled all the painted parts back into the trims so that they could be placed back into the interior. Finally, the last wiring problems got solved too. Then we remarked some surface rust in the doors, and we handled that with care too. The rooftops got completely disassembled, made rust-free and painted like new also. Door panels and seats got replaced and all came together really well. The little trim in the door panel got the same paint and the same pattern as the back panels of the seats. Okay guys, this is a wrap for this episode. Hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe. And stay tuned for the next episode because that will be a very interesting one. See you then!